Big game at the weekend against Manchester United away from home at Old Trafford. I am looking forward to it, relatively speaking. I think, obviously, after the disappointment at Leeds in terms of performance, in terms of energy levels, again, the end of a 3-game week, and it proved to be too much. And I know I didn't do a post match of the Leeds game. It very much felt that they played incredibly well, Leeds, and we struggle with it tactically in terms of setup and all the rest that I've just mentioned. But United, I feel, is a real chance for West Ham to get back to winning ways. And I think, as I've mentioned in the title, with the return of Soucek and Zouma in some capacity, I think it gives West Ham more balance coming into this type of game. And I look at Manchester United in particular from an opposition fan point of view and think they're a team that are struggling with their identity slightly. Again, we know that they want to become more possession based. They want to play slightly higher lines. Again, it's been quite well documented that Manchester United struggle to create width. I think you look at the way that Leeds played in transition in wide areas and in terms of pace and Rafinha against Creswell, it did cause us issues in terms of West Ham trying to get the fullbacks further forward. And I feel that Manchester United generally playing more in central areas, even when Bruno's become a number 10 in a midfield three, I feel that benefits us. It benefits us defensively. I think that if you bring Soucek in alongside Declan Rice in terms of pressing against them, I feel that there are opportunities to win turnovers. Fernandez, Fred, McTominay are all players that, again, I feel aren't really good at retaining possession. I think West Ham could take advantage of that with our physicality, with our ability to win the ball back. And you look at it in terms of attacking midfielders in this game, I'm sure people have got their own opinions about who should be playing. Now, for me, I'm very much happy with the idea of Lanzini playing in the 10, Bowen on the right, and Vlasic on the left, albeit I thought Fornals played really well in that 10 role the other day against Leeds. And I think the way that where West Ham actually went wrong against Leeds was not overloading regularly enough in central areas. And I feel that West Ham have got an opportunity in a 4-2-3-1 to do that. You look at Bowen's positioning, particularly at the minute, he's coming in from wider areas. He's playing a lot more central, very comfortable on the ball. I feel that it means that even if West Ham aren't pressing our double pivot a little bit higher to go and win the ball, you've got players like Bowen, like Lanzini dropping into pockets of space. Again, I think the flexibility that Lanzini's going to have as a number 10 in terms of dropping deep and collecting the ball. But also, I've found that in recent weeks and months, he's been better in our transition. You see it against Crystal Palace. So there are opportunities there. And of course, Vlasic's ability to retain the ball and attract Manchester United. And Manchester United, I think defensively, people will say that they've improved to an extent. I think a lot of that comes down to not being as adventurous. Again, they're not a counter-attacking team anymore. That their line isn't very high. Again, that gives opportunities for players like Vlasic, who I feel is direct, that can get him beyond, that can link up play. But it is important that West Ham and those attacking midfield three very much overload central areas, getting beyond at times, play with one another, and force that Manchester United back four out of shape. And people have mentioned about Manchester United's fullbacks. Now, I think it'll be Delot and Telles. There are opportunities there because I think, interestingly, Manchester United will have to get them further forward to create width and force West Ham out of shape. And again, there'll be opportunities in behind, which of course gives us the chance to see Mikel Antonio really be effective in this type of game. I've said it before about Mickey, and I'll say it again. For me, it's becoming too easy for West Ham to look into him as the focal point and to build the play from there. I think Lanzini negates that because you've got a player that can get in between the lines, that can pick the ball up from deep. He allows us to build play a little bit more effectively through the thirds. But it releases Antonio to play a bit further up. And I want Antonio to not be just an outlet or a focal point. You make it easy for Varane. I think Lindelof struggles aerially. Again, there could be a reason as to why West Ham will focus on that. But where Mikel Antonio, for me, is most effective is when positionally he's moving around. Again, he's trying to get around and stretch the back four when he's on the half turn as well. And I look at Lindelof. Can Lindelof deal with the physicality of someone like Mikel Antonio? I've spoken about the fullbacks. Can he get in behind and exploit the space that they leave? Again, that's another opportunity for Mikel Antonio to be effective and create, even if he's not the focal point in this team. And I think when we break it down and we look at that attacking four, as I've mentioned, or if you want to put Fornals in there, we've got players that are very, very good at getting on the ball, working with one another, but also in terms of movement behind. And I think you look at Bowen and you look at Antonio in that sense. I think we've got to look in terms of possible weaknesses. Now, I feel Zouma will come back into this game, truly. And I feel he's going to come back. If he's going to come back in for someone, it's going to be Diop. And that's purely because I think Moyes clearly favours Dawson as the centre back. People have mentioned about the Zouma and Diop partnership. Again, I don't really have too much of an opinion if I'm honest. I trust Dawson more because I know what I'm getting with him. And that's just my opinion. I think Dawson at least is committed. He's aggressive. I think the balance can be better between Dawson and Zouma. I know people talk about Diop and athletically, and I completely agree. I just think in this game, I think we just need decisiveness. We really, really do. We can't give Manchester United too many opportunities or too many moments of individual quality. And if we look at that game, losing the ball and errors and struggling 1v1, it was Diop. And that's where I look at it as a bit of an issue. You're entitled to your opinion. Everyone has different ones. I don't want to go off on a tangent on this one. I'll probably have to sit down and look at it a little bit more. But Manchester United, as I said, it's not just about the fact that they are struggling in terms of fluidity. I believe they showed that against Brentford in the second half, an improvement. You've got players like Fernandes that positionally will get the freedom and the license to get further forward, to get in the final third. I think if they play Ronaldo, it depends on how they play Ronaldo. A player that, again, if they can get him in the final third against us, can cause us issues. And that's what we have to be wary of course. But, and a big but here, I think because of how narrow Manchester United are, because I don't feel the build-up play is fast-paced, and it's not going to catch West Ham out of shape in a transition, we can afford to just slightly squeeze up our back line a little bit further. And I think that'll give West Ham opportunities to go and win the ball in midfield and create and then release our attacking players further forward. And again, it'll be interesting to see how Moyes plays this because, again, we have beaten Manchester United away. I was really impressed with how we beat Manchester United, albeit in the Cup. I thought just in terms of the shape, how we played a little bit further forward at times. We learned when to sit back behind the ball. We got our offensive play and our defensive play spot on. So they could see that again. But I think there'll be more of an onus, and I think Moyes will fancy himself in competing with Manchester United's midfield. That has been a problem area for them in recent weeks. So in terms of my score prediction for this game, I'm going to go 1-0 West Ham. I think we nick it. I do. I think we can get a result. A draw or a win, it is a positive result, irrespective. I just think there's a chance here. There is genuinely a chance here. And I'm hoping that, again, with that break, and like we said, sometimes with West Ham, when we get to that third game in a week, we struggle a little bit. I feel having Mikel Antonio rested, Soucek to come in, Zouma possibly to come in, the rest of the players rested, Ben Rama possibly back from AFCON. We've got options and we've got opportunities. And I would like us to take advantage of this game and of the circumstance. So I'll leave it there. Check out the Patreon account in the description below. Drop a like on a video. If you do enjoy it, subscribe to the West Ham Way. If you're watching and you're new, I'll be back after the United game, and that'll be on Saturday at about 5 o'clock. So back to a routine 3 p.m. kickoff, and then we'll have a nice little break. Or I say nice little break. Unfortunately, I think West Ham are making very, very slow strides in the transfer market, but I will bring you up to date with all things that come through there, discuss possible transfers as well. I do believe we'll get someone, but that's for another day. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day.